Japan spent years building it, billions of yen funding it, and before it even opened, many people had already written it off. So was Expo 2025 a global triumph or a very expensive question mark? This is Expo 2025, 2025年日本国際博覧会, as we call it here in Japan. A 6-month world exposition held on Yumeshima in Osaka, Japan, designed to showcase innovation, sustainability, and what Japan calls the future of life. Before opening day, problems dominated the headlines. Construction costs ballooned. Public opinion polls showed most Japanese weren't interested in going at all. Some schools quietly canceled field trips. And early on, even water shows were halted over safety concerns. But then, something unexpected happened. Despite cynicism, people started showing up. They braved that march up those escalators, lines upon lines, 1 million visitors in just 11 days, 10 million by the half point. By the end of 6 months, the numbers were impossible to ignore. And if you can't book a seat with Jiros in Tokyo, you'll find them at the Kansai Expo. Economists estimate the expo generated roughly 3 trillion yen in economic impact from tourism, hotels, transport, food, and surrounding development. For Kansai, it became one of the region's biggest international draws in years. Friendships were formed that would last a lifetime. For many visitors, though, especially children, the expo wasn't about budgets or politics. It was the first time seeing so many countries, languages, and cultures in one place. More than 150 nations participated, turning Osaka into a temporary global crossroads. Closer to a bunkasai, that is a rural cultural festival, according to one festival goer. Compared to Osaka's famous 1970 Expo, this one felt different. Less national excitement, but more international reach. But perhaps more and more of a national payout in the end.
働いてみてすごい良かったです。
良かったですか？どういうところ？
いろんな国の人と話もできたし、自分のなんかできないこととかも分かるようになりました。
Expo 2025 succeeded in bringing the world to Japan, and the consensus is in, albeit murky. Was Expo 2025 worth it? Well, that depends on who you ask. At times, the Expo's largest hurdle was its own definition. A global showcase, however, paired with domestic ambivalence, it shone brightly into the cosmos. World Expos are always judged years later by what they leave behind, not just by what they built. This Expo, however, will be completely recycled in accordance with the highest sustainability standards, everything from the pavilions to the ring itself.
One of the things that I learned was calm down space っていう存在が私は知らなかったんですけども、発達障害とかいろいろな障害が目に見えない障害がある方たちが光だったり音だったりでびっくりしちゃったりとか不安を感じた時に その避難するだったり心を落ち着かせるスペースがたくさんの場所にあるっていうことに気づいたのと、で実際自分もちょっととあるパビリオンで気分が悪くなったことがあって、もっと早く知ってれば自分もそういうところを利用できたなって。でその時に後から知ったので、すごい各パビリオンだったり各場所、駅にもあるし、そのカームダウンスペースっていう存在を、例えばこの万博が終わった後もいろんなデパートだったり学校だったりとかにもあってもいいんじゃないかなって思って学びになりました。
いいね、広まると思いますか？
いや、広めてほしいですね。
A pattern I noticed amongst visitors, and they described it rather similarly each time, as if they first visited out of curiosity and then repeat visits, as if they found themselves at home in a new environment like none they'd ever experienced before. Some visitors came once, and many ended up coming dozens of times. Initial skepticism gave way to familiarity, and before you know it, 25 million visitors. Many visitors didn't even know this kind of event was possible, let alone the inclusion of calm-down spaces. Much like the expo itself, Myaku Myaku was criticized at first. He looked weird and it was unsightly and was hard to get used to, and before long, everyone was in love with both the mascot and the expo. Over time, resistance softened. Exposure changed the reaction. Everyone was welcoming the experience. I'm reminded of a haiku by the great Matsuo Basho, which emphasizes observation over judgment, experience above all else. Furu ike ya kawazu, tobikomu mizu no oto. In English, that's an old pond, a frog jumps in, the sound of water.